Welcome everyone. Have you ever had one of those days where stress or anxiety just seemed to take over? Your heart started racing, your palm get sweaty, and it's feel like you are losing control. In this video, we are going to explore the power of vagus nerve stimulation and share 3 cool tricks to reduce stress and anxiety. So stick around because these simple neuroscience based techniques can help you regain control anytime, anywhere. There is an amazing nerve in our body called vagus nerve, and it can actually help us calm down and feel better fast. The vagus nerve supply in our body from brain to all the way down to our lungs, heart and gut. It's the longest cranial nerve in our body and it's got a pretty amazing job. It's part of what called parasympathetic nervous system, which is basically our body's chill out mode. When the vagus nerve is stimulated, it sends the signals to our body to relax, slow down our heart rate and just generally take it easy. There are actually some simple tricks we can use to stimulate our vagus nerve and activate that relaxation response when we are feeling stressed or anxious. So let's jump into our first technique, which is all about breathing. I know, you are probably heard that million times that deep breathing can help with anxiety, but there is a specific way to breathe that really targets the vagus nerve. It is called diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. Here is how it works. Instead of taking shallow breath in your chest, you have to breathe deep into your belly. You can do this for a few minutes when you are feeling stressed. You can put one hand on your chest and one hand on belly just to make sure you are really breathing into your belly. So this type of breathing actually massage the vagus nerve and help activate that relaxation response. So remember, deep belly breath can be powerful tools to calm your nerves in just a few minutes. Now for our second hack. This is something that might sound a bit strange, but bear with me. It is all about cold exposure. Yes, you heard right. Exposing your body to cold can actually stimulate the vagus nerve and help you calm. I'm not saying that you have to dive into a frozen lake unless you are feeling extra adventurous. There are some much easier way to do this. One simple method is to throw some cold water on your face. You know how in the movies where someone freaking out, someone else always throw water on their face? Well, there is actually some neuroscience behind that. The cold water activates something called dive reflex, which stimulates the vagus nerve and can help slow down your heart rate. Have you tried this before? Let me know in the comments how it worked for you. If you are at home and have a bit more time, you could try taking a cold shower. I know it sounds like awful, but you don't have to start with ice cold water right away. You can start with lukewarm water and gradually make it cooler. Even just 30 seconds of the cold water at the end of your shower can make a difference. Another option, which is my personal favorite, is using a cold compress. Just grab an ice pack, wrap it in a thin towel and place it on the back of your neck for a few minutes. The next trick is a game changer. The third trick is all about making noise. Yes, you heard right. Making noise can actually help stimulate vagus nerve and make you calm. This is because the vagus nerve is connected to your vocal cord. So when you engage them, you are also stimulating the nerves. This is all about the mechanical stimulation of your vagus nerve. So one way to do this by the humming or singing. You don't have to be a great singer for this work. It's all about the vibration in your vocal cord. Try humming your favorite song or even just making a long Om sound like you might heard in yoga classes. You should feel the vibration in your throat and chest. If you are not comfortable with humming or singing, especially if you are in public, there is another option, gargling. Yes, good old-fashioned gargling with water can stimulate the vagus nerve. Now these are the three tricks, but there are actually a lot of other ways to stimulate your vagus nerve. Some people find that the gentle exercise like can help. The great thing about all these techniques is that they are completely natural, free, and you can do them pretty much anywhere. You don't need any special equipment or training. One thing I want to mention here is that while these tricks can be really helpful, they are not a replacement for the professional help. If you are dealing with a chronic stress, severe anxiety or other mental health issues, if you are struggling, it's always a good idea to talk to a doctor or therapist. Now you might be wondering, okay, this all sounds great, but how do I remember to do these things when I am in the middle of anxiety attack or stress? That's a great question. It's something I struggle with the first too. What I have found helpful is to practice this technique regularly, even when I am not feeling anxious. That way these become more of a habit and it's easier to remember to use them when you are really need them. It also worth noting that the effect of vagus nerve stimulation can be cumulative. In other words, the more regular you do this exercise, the more resilient your nervous system becomes over time. So even if you don't feel an immediate effect, keep it doing. You might find that over time you become generally calmer and better able to handle stress. I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but does it really work? And that's a totally fair question. The truth is, everyone is different and what works for one person might not work for the another. But there is actually quite a bit of scientific research backing up the benefit of vagus nerve stimulation. For example, there has been a study showing that deep breathing exercise can help reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression. And research on cold exposure has found that it can help reduce inflammation in the body and improve mood. Even the humming and singing has been studied. There is evidence that it can help improve heart rate variability, which is a measure of how well your body can adapt to stress. But beyond the science, I can tell you from the personal experience that these techniques have made a big difference for me. I used to get really overwhelmed by stress and anxiety, especially in high performance situations like presenting my research work at meetings or in scientific conferences. But since I started incorporating these vagus nerve stimulation techniques into my daily routine, I have noticed that I am much better able to stay calm and focused even when things get hectic or tense. Of course, it is not a magic cure all. I still have days where I feel stressed or anxious, but this practice made a massive difference. So if you are struggling with stress or anxiety, I really encourage you to try these techniques. Start with the breathing. It's the easiest to do anywhere, anytime. Then maybe experiment with some cold exposure or try humming or singing when you are alone. So now we have covered the breathing, cold exposure and making noise. 3 simple effective ways to stimulate your vagus nerve and reduce anxiety fast. So thank you for the watching and see you in the next video.